of all nations, kindred, people, and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes. These are they which came out of great tribulation and have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. Here we see Holmes looking into this mystery. These are the elect taken out of tribulation beginning on the earth to escape and stand before the Son of Man, just as Jesus said in Luke 21:36. And we see on the earth gathered in groups of 12,000 each, 12 tribes of Israel, 144,000 of Israel taken into the wilderness with the seal of the protection of God in their foreheads. What then, Holmes? Elementary, Watson. The avenging of the blood. What then, Holmes? Elementary, Watson. The avenging of the blood. Revelation 8:1. And when he had opened the seventh seal, there was silence in heaven about the space of half an hour. And I saw the seven angels which stood before God, and to them were given 7 trumpets. And another angel came and stood at the altar, having a golden censer. And there was given unto him much incense, that he should offer it with the prayers of all the saints upon the golden altar, which was before the throne. What are these prayers of the saints calling for? The avenging of their blood. And the angel took the censer and filled it with fire of the altar and cast it into the earth. And there were voices and thunderings and lightnings and a great earthquake. And the 7 angels which had the 7 trumpets prepared themselves to sound. And the first angel sounded, and there followed hail and fire mingled with blood, and they were cast upon the earth. And the third part of the trees was burned up, and all green grass was burned up. The hail and fire are mingled with blood because it's the avenging of the blood which is being poured out upon those left behind dwelling on the earth. And the second angel sounded, and as it were a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea, and a third part of the sea became blood. With each successive trumpet, the punishments of tribulation are poured out upon those left behind dwelling on the earth. And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and unto him was given a key of the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there rose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace. And the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. And there came out of the smoke locusts on the earth, and unto them was given power as the scorpions of the earth have power. And it was commanded them they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of God in their foreheads. And to them it was given that they should not kill them, but they should be tormented 5 months. And their torment was as the torment of a scorpion when he striketh a man. In those days men shall seek death and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon. For the first 5 months of tribulation, men shall seek death, but shall be unable to find it. Men shall seek death, but for the first 5 months of tribulation, no one will die. They shall suffer unbearable torture and domination by the beast Apollyon and the destroyer and his army of demonic scorpion locusts. But then, 5 months later, the next trumpet sounds. Loose the 4 angels in the great river Euphrates. And the 4 angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year to slay the third part of men. By these three was a third part of men killed by the fire and the smoke and the brimstone that issued out of their mouths. And the rest of the men, the other two-thirds, which were not killed by these plagues, yet repented not. Neither repented they of their murders, nor their sorceries, nor their fornication, nor their thefts. All those left behind are under strong delusion. They remain unrepentant to the end, no matter the severity of the plagues. In Revelation chapter 11, I will give power unto my 2 witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. And if any man would hurt them, fire proceeds out of their mouth and devours their enemies. And if any man will hurt them, he must in this manner be killed. These have power to shut heaven, that it rain not in the days of their prophecy, and have power over waters to turn them to blood, and to smite the earth with all plagues as often as they will. And when they have finished their testimony, the beast that ascends out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them, and shall overcome them and kill them. These 2 saints, these 2 witnesses. And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves. And they that dwell on the earth shall rejoice over them, and make merry, and send gifts to one another, because these 2 prophets tormented them that dwell on the earth. And after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of life from God entered into them, and they stood up on their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up here. And they ascended up into heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. And the 7th angel sounded, and there were great voices in heaven saying, The kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord and His Christ, and He shall reign forever and ever. And the temple of God was open in heaven, and there was seen in His temple the ark of His testament, and there were lightnings and voices and thunderings and an earthquake and great hail. Now, the book of Revelation contains a number of visions, and some of these visions describe the same events. All of the chapters in the book are not in chronological order. And we will pick up on this same vision of the temple of God in heaven, the ark of His tabernacle being open, in a later chapter as the story continues. Revelation 15:1. I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of God. And after that I looked, and behold, the temple of the tabernacle of the testimony in heaven was opened. And the 7 angels came out of the temple, having the 7 plagues, clothed in pure white linen, and having their breasts girded with golden girdles. And one of the 4 beasts gave unto the 7 angels 7 golden vials full of the wrath of God, who lives forever and ever.